Right, okay, so I'm just going to write a couple of things on the board. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. I'm just looking to see where you can see. So there. Right, okay, so we're going to go back to Mendel, so Gregor Mendel, and he investigated pea plants, and he looked at seed shape. Okay, so seed shape, whether the peas were smooth. Oh, I've got green. Wait a minute. So whether they were smooth or whether they were wrinkled. Okay, so smooth or wrinkled. Hopefully you can see that. You can't see that. You can't see green, can you? That's poor. Right, so seed shape is round or it's wrinkled. So round or wrinkled. Yeah, okay, so that was seed shape, so that's one gene. So round shape is dominant to wrinkled. Okay, so I'm going to do big R. Okay, so it's dominant, whereas wrinkled is recessive. All right, so we'll put that there. Okay. Right, so that's seed shape, and then we've got seed color. So seed color. Okay, and that's another gene, all right? And you can have yellow colored that are dominant to green. So I haven't got a yellow. So let's imagine this is a yellow. And this is green, which you can't really see very well on this board. Ooh. Oh, damn it. Here you go. Right. Okay, so there we go. So seed color, yellow colored seeds are dominant. So we're going to go for big G. I'm going to go for a dominant G, and green are recessive. All right, so that's seed shape and seed color. He carried two crosses. So he crossed well, I'll show you what he crossed. He crossed the round yellow seeds with wrinkled green seeds. Right, so P1, okay, I'm going to give you that, is round yellow seeds. So that's the phenotype, round yellow seeds, okay. So that's the first parent, and the second parent is wrinkled green seeds. So that's the phenotype. And the genotype. Okay, so the information I've already given you, I'd like you in the chat facility to give me the genotype for both, please. So give me the genotype for round yellow and wrinkled green. Right, okay, let's see if you're right. So genotype, so remember I said round is dominant, okay? And so seed shape, round is dominant, yellow is dominant G. So what you've got to do is actually, the genotype is going to be that. Okay? So they're the dominant alleles. So for wrinkled green, so wrinkled is little little g, little g. And the reason being is that there's two genes, because as I said to you, it was dihybrid. So dihybrid inheritance is related to two genes. In this case, seed shape and seed color. Good, okay. So now in terms of crossing, we've got to do a cross. Right, okay, so we need to now do a cross between the two. This is where it gets a bit complicated, okay? So we need to work out all the possible alleles. So very quickly, so in terms of the gametes, okay, each gamete is going to have 2 alleles in it, okay? Because it's 1 from each gene. So in this case, you've got RG, okay, and RG, because 1 allele from each gene. And then here, little r, little g, little r, little g, okay? So we can cross those, okay? And we can basically do a very, very simple Punnett square like this. So we put RG there, RG there, and then little r, little g, little r, little g. Okay. Can you see that? Yes, you can. So what we do is we combine the alleles back. So that would be big R, big G, little g. That would be big R, big G, little g. In fact, all of them would be that. Okay. So the question is what are all the phenotypes? What are they? Brilliant. Okay, yeah. So all of them would be round yellow seeds. Can you see that there? Yeah. So they'd be round yellow seeds. Okay. Very good. Okay. All right. So that's with pure breeding plants. Now, obviously, you've got different gametes here. So you've got these. So these are not homozygous. These are heterozygous. And we need to see if we can cross them. So we've now got plants from this is the F1 generation, okay? Filial generation. Okay, so they were all what were they? They were all round yellow seeds, okay? So round yellow seeds. Round yellow seeds, good. Okay, so remember the genotype. Okay, was big R, little r, big G, little g, big R, little r, big G, little g. So now we need to work out, okay, the gametes. Now, there are in fact 4 gametes you could have, okay, for each one. So if we just go through each one in turn, okay, so it would go a bit like this. So the first gamete here, R, big G, that'd be 1. Big R, little g, that'd be 2. Little r, big G, 3. And little r, little g is 4. And you get exactly the same on that side as well. All right, so that's why it's a bit different. The question is how big is your Punnett square going to be? So how many squares are going to be in your Punnett square if you've got 4 one side and 4 the other? So how many potentials are there? Put it in the chat box. Yeah, it's 16. So it's 4 times 4. So we've got to do a super humongous. Will it all fit? I've got to do it at the top. Okay, Punnett square. So literally, I've got 4 like that. Can you see the bottom of that? You can. Good. Right. So I'm going to cross both of them. So I'm going to draw this for you, all right, and then I'm going to give you 5 minutes to find out the genotype and the phenotype, and give me the ratios as well. Okay. Okay. All right. So could you cross those, please? I'll give you a few minutes. Off it good? Right. Okay. So if you found that difficult, don't worry. I am going to go through it. Okay. So you have to plug in all of the gametes. So remember, you always start with the first one. So that'd be big R, big G, big G, big R, big R, big G, little g, big R, little r, big G, big G, big R, little r, big G. It takes forever. I'll get there in the end. Shh, quiet. I'll caution you, Dr. Burgess. It's so hard. Right. Getting there, getting there. Notice I always like to put the dominant first. I don't like to put the recessive first. I just put the dominant first. It's just easier to read when I have to work out what's going on. Right, okay, so if you work it out, you will find that there are 9 round yellow seeds. Okay, so there's 9 round yellow seeds. So for example, it's going to be basically, well, there's one. That's one, that's one, that's one. Round yellow, there we go, round yellow, round yellow. Yeah, round yellow. God, blimey. There we go. There's one more. Is that it? Yeah. There you go. So you've got, can I write over here? Yes, I can. So you got 9 round yellow seeds. You've then got 3 round green seeds. You got 3 wrinkled yellow. And then obviously the recessive one, there's only one recessive, which is that one. Is it? Yes, it is. Well done, Dr. Burgess. Wrinkled green. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is an example of dihybrid. What I'm going to do now is share an exam question with you. I've just dropped a pen. Back again. So, yeah, I'd like you to have a go at this exam question. So I'm going to share it with you. Okay, so hopefully this will work. So I'm presenting a window with you now. No, yes, that one. Hopefully you can see that. So this is about fruit flies. Right, okay, sorry for the delay. Okay, so we need to work out what the answer is. Okay, so the first thing is we need to work out what the parental genotype is. Ooh, right, okay, so hello, I'm back. Right, okay, so parental genotype. So it said right, it says vestigial winged flies, heterozygous for grey body colour. Okay, so vestigial winged, they are going to be homozygous recessive. So we're going to have big G, little g, and we're going to have little n, little n. So we know that that is heterozygous for grey body, and that is the vestigial wings, okay? And then it says, crossed with the ebony-bodied flies, heterozygous for normal wings. So ebony bodies is recessive, and the heterozygous for normal wings is big N, little n. So they're giving you lots of information in the stem of the question there. Okay, so they do give you that information in the stem. So then you need to show the gametes. Well, in terms of gametes, you're going to have GN, and you're going to have GN, because, I mean, you could do the 16, but you don't need to do the 16 because, well, it's big. That's a gamete as well, and that's a gamete as well. But because they're the same, you only need to do half. So here, gametes will be G, big N, and then G, little n. Okay, and then you just literally, you do a cross. So I'll just do the cross. I just want to check that you can see this. So I'm only going to do 4 because 2 of them are the same. So G, N, G, N, and then little g, big N, little g, little n. Okay, so for that, and that's for that. So the answers will be hopefully this is correct. Being on webcam, I am on the spot in this. I've really got to get it right. Hopefully I've got it right. I'm having to think as hard as you lot, I think. Right, so what was the question? So the question said, complete the genetic diagram to show the genotypes and phenotypes in this cross. So genotypes, well, you have to show all the genotypes and all the offspring. So, okay, well, you've done that. There's the genotypes, and then you just need to note down what they are. So that is grey normal. That is grey vestigial, vest, let's call it. That is ebony normal. And this one is ebony vestigial. There you go. And that, my friends, will get you all 4 marks because you have answered all of the information in that answer. Good. Okay. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, so that is dihybrid inheritance. It's as simple as that. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I could go on to other forms of alleles. I know we've still got about another 10, 15 minutes, but I think because of the new way that we're learning with this, I think we will stop in a minute. But if you've got any questions, anybody got any questions, then ask. I'd also like your feedback to know how I could improve these lessons, because I think, unfortunately, we're going to have a few of these lessons for the time being. But let me know. I need your feedback, please, to know what you thought about that, whether that's helpful. I won't mind if you say it's rubbish. It's fine. Oh, good. Right. I think what I'll do as well, I'll try and get some questions and maybe post them on Google Classroom. So what I will do is probably do a 20-30 minute stint in front of the camera and then set you some questions to do on Google Classroom. What I will do though, I will post what we've done today, and I have got a PowerPoint because I know some people couldn't make it today for whatever reasons. All right, so yeah, so that's it then. So see you soon. I'll see you next lesson.